You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. It is a Monday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. And I'll see you guys down there on Wednesday afternoon, probably around like 4 or 5 o'clock, because I'm heading down to see Dead & Company down at the amphitheater in Chula Vista. So I'm definitely going to stop by and play some games and get a great pre-concert dinner at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar inside 7 Mile Casino. Hey, fellas, did everybody have a good weekend? This to me was a great weekend because there were tons of sports on. So it was all day long, everything you would have wanted. Friday night was NBA. Saturday was college football. Saturday night was NLCS. Sunday was all day with NFL football. And then Sunday night, if you were watching NFL, you might have been watching NBA. I mean, it's just one of these weekends where there was so much stuff going on. Men, did we have a solid weekend? Grande, how was it?
My weekend was filled with trips to furniture stores, because you know how that goes when you're moving. Yeah. So furniture stores, a lot of furniture stores. Friday, furniture stores. Saturday, like 5 hours at furniture stores. And then Sunday, I was like, yo, time out. I'm tagging the mom in, let her take my spot. I'm sitting on the couch all day. Like, you go do what you got to do. But yeah, that was my weekend. I had a busy furniture shopping weekend until yesterday, and I watched everything yesterday.
Well, tell everybody though, this is super exciting because I'm like a parent, like a proud parent. I keep calling you like a complete pain in the ass. So tell me, where are we? What's going on? What's the latest? Did you get the keys? Tell me what's going on over here.
Yeah, we are waiting for the wire to hit the escrow fund.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that happens, our realtor will then go get keys. Our realtor will then probably later tonight, we will meet at the apartment, condo, whatever it's called, and we will be handed the keys tonight.
Okay. All right. So when do we have our housewarming party?
Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Gary and team and you two are invited to come over to the house and shotgun some beers.
Okay, I'm in. Browner, you in?
What time?
Not sure.
Okay. We'll figure that out.
Probably right after the show.
Right after the show, 6 o'clock. Hey, listen, this gives me a quick opportunity to just say thank you to Gary Cooper. Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services, 858-376-1299, has been working with Alex and his fiancée, Mar, for literally like the last 6-7 months to try and, get them qualified for a loan, which took some time because, we all told you about credit scores and what they needed to be. Then to go and get pre-qualified, then to go start looking for homes, to scour the county for houses and condos, and to finally find the place in the neighborhood they want it to be at the right price, make an offer, get it accepted. And then you guys remember last week, there were all kinds of issues towards the finish line because Alex's fiance changed jobs right in the middle of the escrow process. Better job, more money, greater opportunity, but a snag in the whole procedure. So it's almost done. The keys are not quite in his hands yet. But when I'm in that condo and I'm having a beer, we will know that Gary took us to the finish line. Congratulations, Alex, Mar, Gary Cooper, and the entire team at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty Services, 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. They got Alex's first home. You said, I can't buy a home in San Diego in Southern California. I'll never be able to afford it. Grande here has proven to you there is a way. Gary Cooper can help, 858-376-1299. How about you, Brown? Do you have a good weekend?
Yeah, man. I always keep it cool. I got to hang out with my baby. We went out. We did a bunch of stuff. Walked around. Had some dinner last night. The Bears game was atrocious, but other than that, the Bulls are 3-0. So there's that. Rondo's shooting people with his fingers in the front row. There's that. Like,
did I see? And I know this will take us into it. It doesn't have to, but did I see Chicago Bull fans chanting MVP for Caruso? Were my ears deceiving me? Did I see a clip of?
That happened to 4 different dudes. So it's like
it's a thing. Anybody who plays for the Bulls, you chant MVP.
Literally, they chanted MVP for 4 different dudes: Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, and Alex Caruso. Oh, and Ayo Dosunmu, he got it too. So don't.
So 4 dudes.
MVP. Hey, dude, Browner, you need to give me every day when the Bulls play, you need to tell me every day when the Bulls play, because the only thing I'm paying attention to in the NBA is when the Lakers play. I've got the Lakers app; it sends me push notifications, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
I want to keep up with the Bulls this year, like I
The
keep up
Bulls
with the
play
Bears.
today.
I mean, the Bulls are like last year's Pelicans, but better. They're like the mini Lakers. They got Lonzo, they got Caruso. You know, I got friends texting me, dude. They're like, I can't believe we traded Lonzo, and Caruso's like, bro, you got AD. Shut up. You won a ring. Like, shut up.
Oh, we're
People
going to talk about AD.
I
We'll
hate
talk about
people.
AD as the afternoon goes on, because what happened between AD and Dwight Howard on Friday night, and then to have Magic Johnson tell the whole world on Twitter, Lakers
was great.
got a personnel problem. They got a basketball problem. In all my years of being around the Lakers, I've never seen anything like this. So we'll get to that later on. We are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan and Crew. Hey, I asked you guys about your weekend, and if you are listening or watching the show, whether you're listening on 1090 or if you're watching on YouTube, if you're catching us up to us tonight on television, Channel 4 San Diego, part of the Cox Yourview Network, you'll notice, those of you watching, that I'm still in my home studio. So I've been fetching about what happened last week, where my house had a leak. Then the floors were flooded and they all started to crack, and things are breaking all over the house as a result. But I'm still in my house. I'm like waiting now for all the different insurance companies to tell me when they want to start doing the work and when I got to get out. And I'm just trying to hang on for as long as I can here in this studio before I get completely uprooted, not only my family, but also our business. So I'm still here. I'm in the house. But for how long, I don't know. But I will say this. What a weekend. I asked you guys about your weekend. What a weekend, man. Not only did we have NBA basketball, Major League Baseball, college football, NFL football. I got out for a couple of shows this weekend. You know, my favorite place in Solana Beach, the Belly Up, in my opinion, like the greatest club concert venue we have here in San Diego. On Saturday night, I saw my boy Kevin Martin. He's the lead singer of the band Candlebox. They tore it to shreds on Saturday night at the Belly Up. And then last night, guys, I saw Damon Wayans do an hour of stand-up comedy at the Belly Up last night.
Which
And
one's that?
he
Which
was
Wayans is that?
hysterical. I think Damon Wayans is the one.
He's the older one.
Yeah, but he's not the oldest guy.
Keenan Ivory Wayans is the oldest
Right.
one. Damon Wayans is the one you know. Marlon Wayans is the younger one who does all the like Wild and Out. He does more of the younger stuff that you may know previous of current work.
But now Damon Wayans also has a son that's famous too. Damon
famous,
Wayans
but
Jr.
He's a C-list actor. Yes.
Yeah, but you see, Damon Wayans.
Well, he was on
who
a show I
saw
watched,
last
so
night.
to me, he's famous.
Well,
Which one? Happy
New
Ending?
Girl.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw Damon Wayans last night. When I thought to myself, I'm like, man, if I could talk to Damon Wayans after the show, what were the things I'd want to talk about? The movie White Chicks. You guys
Major
know that
Pain.
movie? What are you laughing
Come
at,
on,
Browner?
man.
You don't like White Chicks?
Listen, this man is comedy and television black royalty. And
Yeah.
you want to ask him about white?
Well, that was a funny movie. That was a funny movie about two black guys that played these two white chicks. I'll tell you the other movie I'd really want to talk to him about, though. You want to know the other movie?
What?
The Great White Hype. That was a
With,
great movie, you know? And so
with Dennis Leary,
I don't remember Dennis Leary in that movie.
the Great White. Oh, that's the boxing one. He did another one with Dennis Leary when they kidnapped the Celtics. He was like a Celtics fan who
Oh.
kidnapped a player from the other team. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, the
I'm
Great
looking
White
at
Hype
this-
is Peter Berg, the director and actor, and he's the Great White Hype. And Damon Wayans is like the champ. He's like supposed to be Mike Tyson, and Samuel L. Jackson is supposed to be Don King. And it's like one of my favorite movies, favorite kind of goofy sports related comedies. And so, yeah,
Right.
Damon Wayans was fantastic last night. He was great at the Belly Up. So, look, great sports weekend,
strong
great
genetics, man.
entertainment weekend. Yeah. And
Dwayne
and
Wayans,
really awesome.
Keenan Ivory Wayans, they all look exactly the same. Are they triplets?
Mhm.
Holy hell. Like,
You
I'm
know, he
looking
said
at pictures. That's crazy.
He told the story, 10 kids in the family. Told the story.
Yep.
He's like, when I was a kid, my mother was always pregnant and always holding the youngest baby. he was great, man. I'm telling you. So, all right, shout out to weekends. How about that, Browner?
Shout out.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to it. Our lead story today, though, is what happened around the NFL. And like I said, we're going to get to college football. We're going to get to NBA basketball. We'll get to what happened in baseball. We'll get to all of it. But lead story today, what happened yesterday in week 7 in the NFL. Alex, I'm with you. In the early window yesterday afternoon or mid-morning, 10 a.m., the games I was interested in, Kansas City against Tennessee, a complete flop, and Cincinnati against Baltimore, also a complete flop. And when you look at the scoreboard yesterday, especially in the 10 a.m. window, you're like, wow, none of the games were really competitive. In fact, I was watching the NFL's Red Zone, and the only game that they were featuring in the early window was Atlanta and Miami,
It's a
which,
great game.
if you're looking at our scoreboard, I don't even think I saw it on our
Yeah,
scoreboard
it's
just
there.
there. I'm looking
Right
at
in
it
the
at the
middle,
same time. Oh,
above
you
the
know what it
Rams.
is? That when they blank out the black and white of the losing team,
The
it screws me
loser.
up. Yeah. It was a great game. Atlanta, Miami. Literally, I'm watching Scott Hansen on NFL Red Zone yesterday, and he's like, guys, this is the only game that's competitive. Atlanta, Miami, two bad teams. When you have two good teams like Tennessee and Kansas City, not a competitive situation. When you have two quality teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati, not a competitive game at all. Browner, at what stage of the game do you admit that your hot take that Joe Burrow is a bust? When do you admit that that is wrong?
So I watched portions of that game, probably I would say maybe the first two quarters pretty closely, because I didn't know the Bears played at 1 o'clock, so I ended up at a place where I shouldn't have been watching games all day.
Nice.
I would say never in that game because most of the passes were wide open to guys running touchless. Jamar Chase had a great run. He evaded some tackles on his right. I think he brought like 4 tackles. That was good, but these were not deep ball passes. He didn't throw guys open. Guys were wide open. And in Jamar Chase's case, he broke tackles. But the tight end who he threw the 2 touchdowns to,
Uzuma.
nobody touched the dude.
Yeah, but why? Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. So
Why
you're
are
gonna
you trying?
you're gonna hang on. You're just gonna hang on to Joe Burrow as a bust, and even when he's successful, because let's face it, nobody expected the Cincinnati Bengals to go to Baltimore after Baltimore had just crushed the Chargers. Nobody expects Burrow to go into Baltimore and destroy Baltimore. Nobody expects him to crush the Ravens. Alex, take us through the slide that you've built here.
Through 7 weeks of throwing to wide open receivers, Joe Burrow has 1,956 yards. That's sixth most in the NFL. He's averaging 9.2 yards per completion, which is third in the NFL. 17 touchdowns, which is fourth in the NFL. He does throw a ton of picks. That's second worst in the NFL with 8. And his quarterback rating is 108.9, which is fifth best in the NFL.
I mean, Browner, you're calling this kid a bust right here? This guy has taken the lowly Cincinnati Bengals, played 4, 5, 6 games, whatever it was last year, got hurt, rehabbed his knee all offseason, comes back, and thankfully for him, the Cincinnati Bengals are surrounding him with talent. That's not what the Lions are doing for Jared Goff. It's certainly not what the Bears are doing for Justin Fields at this point. So criticizing him for throwing to receivers that are capable of getting themselves open, Joe Burrow is going to prove to you by the end of the year he is no bust, Browner.
Browner, the term bust, I associate that with guys like Jamarcus Russell, Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just
Tim
bust.
Tebow.
Tim Tebow, like for Johnny Manziel, first round picks that are like bust. Like, and you're putting Burrow in that conversation. I think you need a new word.
When Joe Burrow came out, okay, people of your ilk, of your likeness, were saying he's the next Tom Brady. He's Joe Montana. Blah, 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 blah. He's not that. He's not going to be that. And so when I heard all these people calling him all these things, I said, no. He's more like a bust to me than he's going to be anything like that. And I'm sticking with that. Period.
So the word
is he
bust
better than
means
Jamarcus Russell?
So bust means you're not Joe Montana and you're not Tom Brady. But could he be as good as Matthew Stafford? Could he be as good as other top level quarterbacks in the NFL? I mean, you're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals here. He didn't get drafted like Mac Jones to the New England Patriots, where he's got the greatest coach that the NFL has ever known.
You anointed Mac Jones after half a preseason game as like the next great coming of Tom Brady, and Joe Burrow's been.
That's not what I said.
You were praising him after
said.
one half like he was going to be like this next great thing.
I said Mac Jones was the perfect pick for New England because he looks like it looks in the Tom Brady offense.
How about this?
That's what I said.
Because I'm not trying to change your mind as far as bust goes, but how about this? Has Joe Burrow been better than what you expected?
Yes, 100%.
Did the Bengals take a huge chance in not drafting a lineman in the first round and going for his favorite target in Jamar Chase? Yes. Has it worked out? Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Is Joe Burrow going to get crushed week in, week out? Yes.
Absolutely.
He couldn't speak in practice this week. They didn't let him because he has a throat contusion from getting smacked around so hard last week. Like, Joe Burrow might not finish with 16 games a year average, but when he plays, he's damn good.
I would say he has been better than I thought he would be. I'm overly surprised by that, and that is all I will really
Can
give
I
him.
ask you?
Oh my God! Just will
either
not give anybody any credit.
let me if Joe Burrow was black, he'd be the best thing coming.
Oh, dude.
I mean, Justin Fields
He-
can have that
He'd
game
be Deshaun
yesterday,
Watson.
and yet he still believes in Justin Fields more than he believes in Joe Burrow.
Mhm.
No,
Justin Fields
100%.
had like
No,
the
listen.
worst game I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was he got me 1 point in fantasy. At one point, he had -4. At one point, he had -4 points as a quarterback, dude.
When he had the 3 interceptions, I was like, he's killing Alex on
He killing
fantasy.
me.
I love it.
Killing me,
He's gonna
dude.
be bad.
I literally I would say 5 minutes into the game, I text the group thread like, what the hell was I thinking? Like at least Taylor Heineke was available. I could have gone with that guy.
Hey, listen, let
like,
me-
as bad as Jimmy Garoppolo played last night,
Yeah.
Justin Fields was like 3 times as bad as that. Like, it's
He was worse.
crazy.
if Joe Burrow can be Matt Ryan like in his career,
That's a great comp.
is he a
I
bust?
think.
Is he a bust?
Okay.
Ryder?
If he matches the production and the career of Matt Ryan, no.
Okay.
What about
All right.
Phillip
No, I would say-
Rivers? Less success in the playoffs than Matt Ryan, but better numbers so far than Matt Ryan.
I
I mean,
don't- I
Rivers
can't
is in the
answer that
conversation as a Hall of Famer. I don't think Matt Ryan's in that conversation yet.
Let me ask you this: who would you rather have right now? You ready? I give you a choice of 2 quarterbacks right
Me?
now. You make a decision. Yeah, you ready? Here's your 2 quarterbacks. You got a choice of one or the other. These are the only 2
Okay.
quarterbacks you have a choice of. Joe Burrow. I'm not going to say Justin Fields because I already know what your
No.
answer would be. Joe Burrow or Carson Wentz. Because that was a big win last night for Indianapolis. That kind of keeps their season alive. And San Francisco's a disaster.
Carson
and
Wentz.
for you're an indoor team playing in a dome, and you go to an outdoor stadium and play on Sunday Night Football,
Downpour.
and it's a monster downpour. So here's your choices, Browner: Joe Burrow a bust, or Carson Wentz a top 5 quarterback. Both damaged goods because of knee injuries. You decide who's your quarterback: Burrow or Wentz.
Carson Wentz, dog. Come on, you know that. You know,
Yeah.
you know that answer, dog.
No, it's-
I'm always shopping at Carson's. What you talking
Yeah.
about?
I think what's fascinating about the conversation about Burrow being a bust, at least it only exists on this show. It doesn't exist
Yeah.
anywhere else.
Nowhere else.
Is
Well, I'm
that
not the only
is that
one.
we literally
There's-
have
we out
Yeah,
is
there.
that we literally
yeah.
have Tua doing things like he did yesterday, throwing interceptions directly to the Falcons. Same draft class, same coming from a same like successful organization of college football.
SEC,
SEC,
national championship,
all the talent in the world.
you know,
They
right.
drafted his favorite. They drafted Waddle for him, and now they've given up. But yet you're still on Burrow. Ain't that good, dog?
Yeah. He
That's-
just holds on to his
that's
opinions, and
something.
he refuses to ever be
What surprised
persuaded.
you guys the most yesterday? Talking about the Bengals beating the Ravens easily, by the way.
Yeah.
Like that victory,
me,
or the
that was a big
Titans win over the Chiefs easily.
Yeah. You know what? I'm surprised by both. I'm really surprised by both. Alex, put up where we stand, though, in the AFC, because that's kind of the interesting part of what happened yesterday. The Bengals wind up winning. The Raiders wind up winning. Tennessee wins huge. Baltimore loses big. Take a look at this right now. Right now, and this is one of my favorite phrases, if the playoffs started today, the Bengals are the number 1 seed. The Raiders have elevated in 2 weeks to the number 2 seed post John Gruden. The Titans are in the 3 seed. They got that lucky win against Buffalo and then crushed Kansas City yesterday. And the Ravens, who was everybody's best team in the AFC a week ago, now drops to 4. But all 4 of those teams, Bengals, Raiders, Titans, Ravens, are all 5-2. And we'll pick up the NFL conversation. We'll get back to the Lions and the Rams in just 1 second. But before we do, I want to say something about iThrive MD. On Friday of last week, amongst all the nonsense that was going on with my house and insurance and everything else that was happening, I had to make time to visit with Dr. Samir Damani from iThrive MD. And here's what I found out, and I want to thank the great friends. Since Dr. Damani has put it on the air that it is $289 a month for testosterone treatments, and he's willing to take it down to $145 a month for the first 3 months of treatment, it has made the phones ring. It has made the website blow up. It has more great friends making appointments because you guys are like me. You're like, I've been thinking about it. I heard Kaplan talking about it. Maybe I am depressed. Maybe I am foggy in the brain. Maybe I'm not getting it done in the bedroom. Maybe I am suffering from erectile dysfunction. Whatever your problem might be, it could be because of low testosterone. You go get a free testosterone test, and then the first 3 months are 50% in savings from $289 to $145. Guys, this is a great deal. You're going to feel so good. You're going to be that young, clear-minded guy that you used to be, but you got to make an appointment this week, because I'm trying to convince Dr. Damani to keep this thing rolling a little bit, because we're going to pull into the holidays, Thanksgiving. You're going to be eating, drinking. Christmas season is going to come. You're going to be doing a lot of partying. I want you to be as healthy as you can be. I want you to be as energetic as you can be. And you can be all of these things at iThriveMD. iThriveMD.com/Kaplan. Here's the phone number, 858-240-1497. 858-240-1497. Make the appointment now. Get in the month of October, and let's get you 3 months at 50% savings from $289 to $145 at iThriveMD. All right, we'll pick up the conversation. We were talking a little bit about Goff and the Lions versus the Rams. We'll get there, and we'll get back to all the big stories of the weekend: NBA, Major League Baseball, college football, NFL. Stay with us, everybody. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Our massive signal covers an area where over 24 million people reside. So if you're listening or advertising on another station, we have only one question. Why? The new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
SDCCU is an engaged community partner. Each year, SDCCU is proud to support many nonprofit organizations throughout Southern California. Our partnerships allow us to help shape the financial lives of many through volunteerism, financial support, and creating public awareness. The result is a big impact on the communities we serve. SDCCU, it's not big bank banking, it's better. Federally insured by NCUA. Find out more at sdccu.com.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Are you or someone you love living with dementia? Get free support from the experts at Alzheimer's San Diego. Visit alzsd.org or call 858-492-4400. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Up to 30% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers with persistent symptoms months after the infection.
What I've been finding with my patients is that it's taking up to 3 to 6 months for them to recover their endurance, exercise capacity, and get them back to work or to their usual activities of daily living.
What I wasn't able to do was the basic needs, like brush your teeth, take a shower, because of the shortness of breath, the tightness in my chest.
The symptoms that concern me the most, the shortness of breath. So restrictive. You know, you go through and you just take for granted that, you know, you're gonna breathe. And when that gets taken away, it's a scary thought. Unfortunately, I'm 6 months out now from my diagnosis, and I'm still suffering from several of the symptoms.
My experience with the patients I've sent to La Mesa Rehab has been extremely positive. The patients come back with good reports, and when I see them in the office, their exercise capacity has improved dramatically.
I'm getting there because of La Mesa Rehab.
Teatro means theater in Spanish, and in Portuguese, and in Tagalog, and in Italian, and in so many languages. We have a lot of communities, a lot of culture here, so that is the reason why teatro is in the name. The mission of Teatro San Diego is to provide arts education to underserved communities, specifically in schools. Our goal is also in tandem with arts education to provide a professional theater company and dance company so that the community can see themselves reflected on stage at the professional level. Places like Subaru have really been so supportive and have helped us come up with projects like the AMI project.
I was so honored to be at an event a few days ago and heard some of the songs from it. These guys rock. This is just an amazing thing that everyone needs to see.
Catch an all-new local show on the Mightier 1090. Please join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the Charity Stripe, where you can get 3 out-of-the-box sports minds whose game is knowing yours. Only on a new generation of radio, the Mightier 1090 AM, SoCal Sports Talk.
My name is John Alicio, and I'm managing partner of Procopio. Procopio is the largest San Diego-based law firm, and we're proud to be a part of this event, the Salute to Teachers. Without the teachers, none of us would have had the success we've had. You know, our firm consists of about 200 professionals and 200 attorneys, so a total of 400 mostly San Diego-educated professionals. Without you, we'd not be winning the cases we win as we go toe-to-toe with the best attorneys in the world. So thank you on behalf of Procopio for what you do and how you do it. And a special personal thanks to my alma mater, Valhalla High School, and the teachers at that school. Without you, I would not have had the personal success I have had. So from Procopio, thank you for what you do and how you do it. Salute.
It was a night to remember as we honored the best teachers in San Diego. There was dancing. There was music. There were teachers. There was also this bit of genius.
This honor is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Watch Cox present Salute to Teachers only on YourView.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
We've got an exciting high school football matchup coming up on Friday night. Granite Hills will be matching up with Helix in the final game of the regular season. Let's take a look at the player to watch in this one. Helix senior running back Christian Washington is having himself a year. Washington has over 1,100 rushing yards with 15 touchdowns. The senior also has an interception for the Highlanders this season. Granite Hills is 4-5 on the season. Last week, they lost a heartbreaker to Steel Canyon 21-20. Helix is 5-3 on the year. They're coming off a 29-14 win against Grossmont. Be sure to tune in the action Friday night right here on YourView. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Still on his feet, Jared Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Big return left sideline. Off to the races.
He flipped the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcats. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on YourView is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Stadium in San Diego. It has been a sellout the last few days. Loyal SC ready to kick off this season. Stadium in San Diego. Professional soccer has finally arrived.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and YourView. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more, just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Hey, everybody. It is a Monday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, broadcasting on the powerhouse that is the mightier 1090. So anywhere in Southern California, San Diego, Orange County, LA, Santa Barbara, the Central Coast, anywhere in the Southern California region, you can catch up to us on 1090 on the radio, in your car. For those of you that I always call you the heart and soul, you guys are in our YouTube channel. You're chatting it up. You're having a great time. We're going back and forth. We all know each other. It's part of our daily routine. For those of you that are part of our YouTube family, we're happy to have you guys here. For those that catch up tonight on cable television, I'm trying to think Monday night tonight. There's Monday Night Football. Browner said that the Bulls play tonight, but the Lakers don't play tonight. I'm sure baseball fans, at least Southern California baseball fans, are probably done, although you might still want to catch up with the World Series. But I'm just telling you, tonight, we start getting a lot more people watching the TV show, Channel 4 San Diego, part of the Cox Yorview network, because we'll have just a little less competition tonight. So we're back in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, and I'll remind everybody who watches on TV, youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew. You get the full show along with Grande and the Brown Man. So, hey, guys, real quick, before we get back to the NFL stuff, on Friday of last week, people always ask me, they say, hey, Scott, and I get it a lot from people on Twitter, on other social media platforms. People ask me all the time, how's Billy Ray doing? I mean, I get that everywhere I go. Hey, how's Billy Ray doing? And I always say the same thing. He's doing great. He's doing great. He's living the retired life now. Everything's going great. But I will tell you guys truthfully, through the pandemic, just as we're all still working from our remote locations, I haven't seen Billy Ray in a really long time. I talked to him on the phone, text with him, talked to him on social media, but I haven't seen him. Guys, I'm not joking. It's probably been a year and a half since I've seen Billy Ray. And on Friday of last week, I called him during the week. I said, hey, let's get together and have lunch, man. I haven't seen you in a really long time. I went to his house. I picked him up. I took him for what his favorite meal, cheeseburger, no tomatoes, no onions, just barbecue sauce and jalapenos. So I picked him up. I took him out for a burger. We hung out for a while. And it was a really great, hour and a half of quality time spent with a brother, a great friend. I mean, one of the most classic human beings of all time. And then here, Alex is putting it up on the screen for those of you that are watching, those of you that are listening. You've probably seen it on social media. There we are. Billy Ray wearing his San Diego State hat, big American flag in the back. And Browner, look at how Billy Ray has his right hand on my right shoulder. That's very Sean Merriman-like, right?
Yeah,
it's like the time Sean Merriman wanted to beat me up. Billy Ray's got a hold of me like, Billy Ray's like, I still got control of you, you little rascal.
When I saw that picture, I was like, let me see if I can figure out where they are. It took me
Really?
maybe
You guys in Del Mar?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Flower Hill.
Flower Hill
Yeah,
Mall.
there's a burger lounge in there that's real close to Billy Ray's house. And so I was like, let's go have a burger.
Nothing Bunt Cakes is good in there too.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know if they're still in there. I'm not sure they're still in
That
there.
should be
Browner.
illegal.
Yeah, I don't know if that Nothing Bun
What?
Cakes is still in that shopping center. I'm not sure. It's been a long time.
A nice Chipotle in there.
Yeah, there's a good
Stop by all the
Chipotle.
time before the track.
Yep, there is a good Chipotle right in there.
To me, don't
Yeah,
tell
there's
me
a Whole
that.
Foods in there. But I will say, so everybody says, well, how's Billy Ray? And I got a lot of people, liking that picture on Instagram and sending comments. And I'm like, Billy Ray's great. But I'll just tell you, man, I'll just say this. I'll just leave it here. The NFL is one of the most violent games you can play as a professional athlete. And when you hear these cracks of pads and you see a guy lower his head and run somebody over, dude, every single hit takes its toll on the human body, and particularly the head and the brain. And listen, Billy Ray's 60 years old. He turned 60 in August, and definitely living the retired NFL player life. I'll just say it like that. But he's doing well. Big old smile on his face. I will say that I looked at his burger. I was like, Billy Ray, eat up, brother. Half a burger, he was history. He was done. He's skinny. He's looking skinny. I mean, like people see him and they go, damn, Billy Ray, you're looking fit. I'm like, damn, Billy Ray, you're looking skinny, dog. But he's looking healthy. He's looking fit, leaner than he was back in the old days where he still had that linebacker body. But for everybody that asks, Billy Ray doing great. So I'm just throwing that out there to everybody. Browner, what are you finding out? That Nothing Bunt Cakes is no longer there?
gone, dog. It's gone. That's crazy. COVID taking everything away.
Yeah. I used to like that red velvet cake with that cream cheese icing on it. That was so good.
Breaking news: COVID is also taking away Matt Nagy. He's tested positive, so we are free for at least 7 days. So hopefully, someone else can plan a whole week of game plans, and the team can play better.
All right. I didn't realize that. Is that a story from earlier today?
Breaking right now.
Wow. All right.
The whole Bears have to go into like severe COVID protocol. Everybody has to wear a mask, daily testing.
They had an
So many
outbreak.
dudes have tested positive there.
Wow. Yeah, I have a friend of mine who's a cop in Pittsburgh, and I talked to him over the weekend because a few of my buddies. I'll tell you a quick story, and then I'll get back to the NFL. So my boy Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator of the Browns. Blah blah blah. You know this. Nobody is like surprised that I'm talking about this, right? Well, they had the weekend off because they played on Thursday night. So Alex and his wife and a couple of our other college buddies, they all went to the Pitt Clemson game on Saturday afternoon. Now the Pitt quarterback is this kid Kenny Pickett. And now they're starting to try and talk about him as a potential Heisman candidate, an All-American candidate, and a first-round draft choice candidate. So this kid, Kenny Pickett, was about to break all the Pitt passing records that were not held by Dan Marino, but were held by my boy Van Pelt. So he tells me, we're talking on Saturday, he's going into the game. I go, have you like alerted the Pitt athletic department and the sports information department that you're going to be there? Are you going to walk onto the field before the game, shake hands with this young kid who's about to break your records? You come in, you're an offensive coordinator of an NFL ball club. Like, that's the kind of thing that a program likes to celebrate. Let's welcome back today, everybody, our former great quarterback, now the offensive coordinator, and he's here today because this guy Pickett's about to break all the records. Alex is like, nope, I didn't tell anybody I was coming. I'm not going on the field to shake any hands. I'm not taking any pictures. I'm walking in like a fan. I'm tailgating before the game like a fan. And don't you dare call anybody or text anybody and tell them that I'm here. I want to be under the radar. I don't know if I could actually do that. I'd be like, yo, I'm
You like
coming
the
in.
attention?
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, I want a little video board love.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, yeah, not him.
Yeah.
Not
But
him.
you also haven't lived his life. He's on TV every week. He's won a Super Bowl,
Whoa. What
Well,
you mean? Slow down,
yeah, I'm on
Playboy.
TV every day.
This guy's on TV
national
every day,
TV.
bro.
My bad, dog.
Yeah, he hasn't
My
won a
bad,
Super
dog.
hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
He didn't win one with Green Bay?
No.
Oh, never mind then. He should have called for attention.
I just feel like this
Maybe he
kid's
just
about
wanted
to.
Maybe he just wanted to take down a 12-pack and didn't have to worry about
Oh,
shaking hands and kissing
I
babies.
think that's exactly what was going on. It's like,
Yeah.
no, dude, I'm tailgating before the game, which
Yeah.
means we're going to be partying and drinking, and I don't want to have to go on the field, and I don't want anybody videoing, and I don't need the Cleveland Browns fans to know where I'm at or what I'm doing.
Did
or
that kid
criticize
pass
me.
him this weekend?
I think so. I'm almost sure he did. So
Mm.
anyway, all right, let me get back to where we were. We were talking about the NFL. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. It is Kaplan and Crew on a Monday afternoon after an amazing weekend of sports. Going back to Friday, it's NBA. Saturday, college football, National League Championship Series of baseball. Sunday, it's NFL football all day long. What a weekend. So starting with the NFL, to me, even though in the 10 a.m. window, I was interested in Kansas City and Tennessee, which did not materialize into a competitive game with Tennessee beating Kansas City down. And I was interested in Cincinnati-Baltimore, which also was not a competitive football game because the Cincinnati Bengals pulled into Baltimore and smacked down the Ravens. A week after the fact, the Ravens annihilated the Chargers. So those two games, which were the two good games, at least the two matchups that I wanted to see in the 10 a.m. window, did not materialize. In the 1 o'clock window yesterday, the number one game that I was most interested in was the Rams and the Lions. I will admit that I was keeping my eye on the Raiders, not so much with the Buccaneers and the Bears, even though that game was on national TV on CBS, had Jim Nantz and Tony Romo in what turned into a terrible football game and very boring. But the game I was watching, Lions and the Rams. And I'll say this, the Rams were lucky. Okay. And when I say lucky, here's what I mean. The Lions threw everything at them they had. Onside kick, fake punt, another fake punt. And here's what the Rams did really, really well. They took the punches. They're on the ropes and they're taking the punches. But they scored 17 points. So in other words, they scored on 3 straight possessions, the Rams. When the offense got back onto the field, they took care of their business. It gets down to late in the game, and the Lions are driving. And I'm thinking to myself, I hate to admit it, but I'm kind of rooting for the Lions at this point. Like this could be a monster upset. Jared Goff to stick it to Sean McVay, to stick it to the Rams organization, to come back and play in SoFi where he played last year, but there were no fans. For Goff to stick it to the entire fan base, I don't know. On one hand, there's a certain romance to an underdog pulling off an upset of that magnitude. But on the other hand, what the Rams did late in the game was their two best defensive playmakers made the play on one play. In other words, Goff drops back. He's already got his team in scoring position, and Aaron Donald blasts through the offensive line. The offensive line today for the Detroit Lions, when they watch the film, they're going to get destroyed by their coaching staff because we can all blame Jared Goff for the interception in the end zone late in the game. But it's a great play by Aaron Donald to get by the Lions offensive line. It's a spectacular interception that seals the game. And everybody will look at Jared Goff and say, he's why they lost. But really, I'll give the credit to the Rams' two defensive stars, Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. Those two guys on the exact same play made the play that they had to make to seal the victory. And the Rams just squeaked by the Lions. Were you guys watching this yesterday?
Again, I watched the first 2 quarters because when he started doing onside kicks and fake punts, I was in. And I didn't care what happened. I needed to see the rest of this. And then it kind of, after halftime, the Rams kind of got control of it. And I was like, okay, I'm done. He's not going to win.
But they didn't really get control of it, though.
But Scott, you know how it is in the NFL. Everybody coaches in a conventional fashion. If it's 3rd and 11, you're probably going to pass the ball. If you're 4th and 8, you're probably going to punt the ball. That's just kind of how it is, right? Everybody coaches there's a set of rules that everybody follows in the NFL. Nobody plays like it's a video game. So when you have a coach come into your place and all of a sudden he's like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna turn my hat around backwards and we're just gonna go for it every single time. We're gonna fake. We're gonna do fakes. We're gonna go for a fourth. We're just gonna you're not prepared for that because nobody does that.
Right.
It caught them completely off guard and it took them a while to kind of figure out what was happening. But you might think that game was in danger because you were watching it super closely, but I don't think anybody thought that game was really in danger, man. No way, no chance.
When they got the first onside kick. And at that point, it was like, oh my, because it was a great play.
Yeah.
And then when they got the fake punt pass, and they cut to Sean McVay, and he was on the sideline telling everybody, calm down, calm down. Because at that point, that game was crazy, and it was like 7-0.
Yeah, exactly. After all that, I think their biggest lead was 10 points, right? Or was it 13?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was 10. It was 10. It was 10 zip.
That was their biggest lead of the game. And I know that they had a lead going into the 4th, but yeah, I think that's what I said earlier in the show. If you're throwing the whole kitchen sink at this thing and you still manage to only score 19 points,
dude, at halftime,
they ran a graphic.
Yeah, go ahead.
They ran a graphic that said this is the first time the Lions had the ball
with the lead
this season.
Right. It's the first offensive play of the entire season where the Lions had the ball and had a lead. You know that the Lions at the end of the first half, it was 17-16. Excuse me. Yes, it was 17-16. The Rams were up. So for all that the Lions did, the Rams were able to score those 17 points on 3 straight possessions and go to halftime with the lead. Now, the Lions take a 19-17 lead into the 4th quarter, and then what happens is they wind up getting shut out in the 4th quarter. And so 28-19 was the final score. But it was a 21-19 game. Was it 21 or 22? It was whatever the score was. The point is that the Lions hung around, and they almost shocked the world. But it's one play, and there's 3 players. There's Aaron Donald, there's Jared Goff, and there's Jalen Ramsey.
By the way, no tension whatsoever. The drama, the buildup, the Jay Glazer report, Goff hung up on him when he called him to tell him about the trade. They try to build this anger and tension. And then you're on Twitter, the Rams are like, welcome home, Jared. And then all these pictures of him and Aaron Donald, him and Jalen Ramsey, and this cordial handshake between McVay. It was a non-story whatsoever. So either it was purposely done by the Rams before the game, hey, we're going to show Jared a ton of love. They played a 1-minute video tribute to him on the board. they squashed any sort of like, I hate this dude, F this dude,
Yeah.
never was there.
But just go ahead and take a look at those, just real quick. Take a look at the comparison, because I still would like to get to the Raiders before we get out of this segment. But take a look at this. This is the game, the post game. Goff and McVay kind of hugging it out, talking it out, and then listen. This is what the Rams got. Alex, take us through this. What the Rams got in Matt Stafford, what the Lions got in Jared Goff, and this is what happened when the two went toe-to-toe.
See, because you can look at this and be like, yeah, it's one game. But if you look at almost every box score, they look like this every single week for both quarterbacks. Stafford, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, high quarterback rating. Goff, 268, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, low quarterback rating. I mean, you can really take a look at every single box score these two have produced this year, and they all kind of look like that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the Rams wanted. They wanted a guy who could throw for 350, throw a ton of touchdowns, someone that can move the ball consistently, which he can do.
What about maybe that's why they got rid of Jared Goff, because he wasn't pissed enough that they traded him. Yeah, he might have hung the phone up, but he didn't carry it with him. And maybe that's what they want, a guy with that kind of energy, that kind of hate inside him, that kind of fire. And he just doesn't have it. He's a cool quarterback playing dude. Like, okay, maybe they want somebody like Aaron Rodgers, somebody who's super spiteful, who carries a chip on their shoulder.
Well,
maybe that's what they wanted.
Does Matt Stafford
and they
have
didn't get
the
it.
tattoo of a chip on his shoulder?
What happened?
Does Matt Stafford have a chip tattooed on his shoulder? That's
Why,
that's the
somebody
worst.
else?
There's I think a boxer or a basketball player. I gotta look it up right now.
Definitely a basketball player.
Like a potato chip?
They
What kind of chip?
tattooed a Lay's looking ruffle potato chip, and they're like, what is that? They're like, this is a chip on my shoulder that I carry with me everywhere. The worst tattoo of all time.
Hey, look, let me just transition real quickly, because while we're talking about the Rams and their win over the Lions, and it wasn't necessarily the most impressive win by the Rams, and I actually think that the Lions and their coaching staff should look at
Von
it.
Miller.
Oh, it's Von Miller who's got the chip on his shoulder? Really?
Oh, that's great. Von Miller has one, and then there's a dude on the Cowboys. That's the dude on the Cowboys is the one that I've seen. It was where I didn't know Von Miller had one too.
Was it from Hard
it's,
Knocks?
this guy, whoever this is, Anthony
Potato
Brown,
chip. Yeah.
potato chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell you guys this right now. I think the Lions coaching staff should look at their team and go, we're not very good. So you know what? Faking punts and onside kicks and trick plays and non-conventional wisdom, let's just air it out and go crazy the rest of this year, because we're not going anywhere. So these kinds of things give us an opportunity to win, which is the position that the Lions found themselves in yesterday. Interestingly, isn't it interesting how the Raiders now, what are you owing about?
Me and Browner were yelling about how they're going to go 0-17.
Mhm.
They play the Eagles next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles are trash too.
But the Eagles are.
No, they're
okay,
not.
This is
I
what
don't
I'm
think they
saying.
are. I think they're very similar.
Eagles. Now, if they played the Texans, I would say okay, because the Texans have no talent on their roster whatsoever. The Eagles have good players. They just suck right now.
Yeah, well, they lost to the Raiders yesterday. Think about where the Raiders were just a couple weeks ago.
That's crazy, huh?
I assumed that the Raiders were going to implode when John Gruden had to resign. But now the Eagles were beaten by the Raiders yesterday, and the Raiders are 2-0 without Gruden. And here's what Derek Carr said after the game about their new coach, Rich Bisaccia, and playing without Gruden and going 2-0.
He has the ear of the locker room. He has the pulse. He has the heartbeat, and he's our leader. It's tough circumstances, but it is what it is. And it wasn't like we were an 0-5 team when he took over. We're a good football team, and he got to take over, and we would love him to still be our head coach for the future.
Mm-hmm. Rich Bisaccia. We would love for him to be our head coach into the future. There's an endorsement to the organization.
Did you hear what Josh Jacobs
doing anything?
Well, did you hear what Josh Jacobs said last week about Rich Bisaccia?
What'd
So
he say?
last week in the press conference before this game, they asked him about what the sideline felt like without John Gruden, and he started laughing. He was like, "I loved it." He was like, "It was calm. There wasn't a coach yelling at us every single play. There wasn't a coach going crazy, yelling at the referees. Like if something went bad, we were all calm. We all talked each other up. It was a different vibe, and I loved it." Like,
Yeah. How about that? Hey, listen, hey, Brown, sorry, man. Just give me 1 second. We're about to hit the break. We're about to hit the break. I want to just tell everybody about Corky's Pest Control, and then we'll come back. We'll get deeper into this. I know you want to get to the NBA. I do too. I'd like to get into a little bit of the Dodgers falling apart last week on Saturday night. But I do want to just mention, everybody, I've got 3 friends right now who all have their houses tented by Corky's when it comes to termite fumigation. And I've got another friend who just used, well, it was Bill Hagan, the owner of 1090, who had a termite problem in his house in Carlsbad, but Corky didn't have to tent the house. He just used heat treatment, and it was just in a very localized area. If you think you have a termite issue, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, if you're a homeowner in Southern California, if you think you have a termite issue, go shop around like a bunch of my friends did. And then they found out the best price and the best guarantee was Corky's Pest Control. So call Cork or just Google the one word Corky's. Call 1-800-901-1102. Corky. Nicely done. All right, we'll pick it back up. I know Browner wants to jump right back in. NFL is our main story today, but let's get to some NBA. Let's get to some college football. Let's get to what happened in baseball this past weekend. What a weekend of sports. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan and Crew. We're back after this.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Here at the mightier 1090 AM, we don't just bring you SoCal sports. That would be lame. We also bring you the blue and gold Fighting Irish. We're the radio flagship for Notre Dame football for all of Southern California. This is the mightier 1090 AM.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YourView or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter-to-soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Return left sidelines off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Catch all the action as Helix takes on Granite Hills October 29th at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
It was a night to remember as we honored the best teachers in San Diego. There was dancing. There was music. There were teachers. There was also this bit of genius.
This honor is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Watch Cox presents Salute to Teachers only on YourView.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
We've got an exciting high school football matchup coming up on Friday night. Granite Hills will be matching up with Helix in the final game of the regular season. Let's take a look at the player to watch in this one. Helix senior running back Christian Washington is having himself a year. Washington has over 1,100 rushing yards with 15 touchdowns. The senior also has an interception for the Highlanders this season. Granite Hills is 4-5 on the season. Last week, they lost a heartbreaker to Steel Canyon 21-20. Helix is 5-3 on the year. They're coming off a 29-14 win against Grossmont. Be sure to tune in the action Friday night right here on YourView. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more.
Catch Kaplan and Crew Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. If you've listened to Scott Kaplan the last 20 years, you know one thing. He likes to stir up some A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at lamesarehab.com.
COVID vaccines are safe, convenient, and free, and they are effective at protecting you against the coronavirus. I'm Dr. Akilah Weber, a pediatric gynecologist and state assembly member, and I got the vaccine to protect my family. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and everyone who receives the vaccine helps us get one step closer to returning to normal. Go get your vaccine today. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a site near you. Do it for yourself, your family, and for our community.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me as we honor our fellow veterans and active military men, women, and their families during National Veterans and Military Families Month.
Watch Doing More, Sunday night at 6 on YourView and YourView.com.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Save the Stork is an organization that equips pregnancy resource centers across the nation so that these pregnancy resource centers can reach more women facing unplanned pregnancies and provide them with holistic care, compassionate choices, and just an abundance of resources to support their decision to choose life. Save the Stork has been around for about 10 years. Most people know us by our Stork buses. A Stork bus is a mobile medical unit that's equipped with the state-of-the-art medical equipment as well as very knowledgeable and experienced medical professionals.
The buses enable them to reach areas where maybe there's not a pregnancy care center nearby. We are here to walk this journey with you so that you're not alone and to help you find your heart in all of this. And that means and that you're going to make a choice that is truly going to be something that years from now you're going to be proud of.
Attention, all dogs, cats, horses, tortoises, birds, pigs, and all other pets. Get your family members to sit, stay, and watch Animal Zone every Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on this channel and at animalzone.org.
Tune in Saturdays at 9 p.m. to watch Animal Zone right here on YourView.
Thank you for for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
We're in a tropical rainforest visiting with some very special guests.
Have we traveled halfway around the world? The location will surprise you.
Today on
Su Vida.
Su Vida.